Hello everyone, my name is Helena.
And I'm Kelly.
And we are Speaker Insight, where we help speakers, authors and coaches to build a business on your terms. And today we're talking all about creating a portfolio business. And we really do want to invite you to pay attention to this because it's a great way that you can actually stand out. So the first thing that we always do is remind you, if you're doing the hashtag replay because you live in a different time zone or you just didn't have, you were out delivering and whatever else, we love that, and let us know by doing a hashtag, even if it's months later, by doing a hashtag replay. That would be amazing. And I see that a couple of you have already joined us. Hi, Josepha, how are you?
Oh, she said she was going to try and join.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
just sharing it out, guys.
Yeah, that's good. So Kelly, whilst Kelly's sharing, do share the buzz in your business. What's going on? What's intriguing? What's exciting? What's happening? What happened that you are, celebrating in some way? We would love to know what those things are, because there is nothing like-minded people, like-valued people actually celebrating with you because they actively know what you mean when you say, oh, I got a big PR piece, or whatever that is that you've just landed. So do tell us,
right? We've got our videos now probably have between sort of 500 to 800 people watch each one. So it's a great promotional opportunity for you if you have a product for speakers, authors and coaches that you've developed.
Yeah, exactly. So for example, Josepha, you could actually do the whole what you put out.
Voiceover thing.
Yeah, you could put out, the impact and the attention that your post in the Connection Hub has happened. That's a really, really good thing. So for those of you who aren't part of the Connection Hub, Kelly's already popped a link in there, I'm sure. The Connection Hub is where the conversations take place. So Speaker Insight, we tend to broadcast the trainings that we do and those types of things from here and let you know about the events that we've got coming up. So the buzz in our business is that we have a new Connect and Create Day for you. It's on the 16th of March, so that's a Monday, 16th of March, where like-minded, like-valued people come together to actually work on their businesses. So speakers, authors and coaches, just like you, come to work on your business, get a little coaching session with either Kelly or I, but more than that, you also get to connect with people that might be future partners, collaborators, or just people who have been there, seen it, and can offer you some perspectives on the thing or the issues that you are having in your business, because we are always needing to work on our businesses as well as in our businesses. So if that sounds like an appeal.
And I know Brett's saying hi, and I know he's an avid attendee of our Connect and
yes,
Create
that's
Days.
right. That's
and
exactly
Josepha's saying that her buzz is with the help of our Connection Hub. She's formally relaunched her VO business, her voiceover business.
Amazing. Congratulations. So that is brilliant. And actually it ties in very nicely with the subject matter we're going to be talking about. So the other thing around this is of course that it is half term. So we always kind of do the little nod
juggling
exactly. Nod to kind of the people who are sort of going places or having to entertain where they would usually be working, and balancing your lifestyles in that. I personally was in Denmark over the weekend, and that was interesting.
For a bit longer than you were expecting to be in Denmark for, because that was Storm Dennis.
Definitely interesting. I can honestly say that I have never experienced before, and would never like to experience again, the flying into Gatwick with lightning by my side. That was, when you're coming through the clouds.
And you're like,
for those of you who are phobic, I apologise.
Delete.
But it really was an intriguing thing to see lightning. I got excited, and then I realised where I was, and I went, no more of that, please.
I'm in a floating tin can. Hang on a minute. I flew in Hurricane Andrew in America.
Man.
We got there a lot quicker, but I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
I know, right?
Sky.
It really is. So yes, I had 2 moments of wow, and then moments of can we get down now? That would be really, really good. But what it did highlight for me is that you really can work anywhere these days, and that's part of why we're talking about what we're talking about. So we'll get going unless anybody else is sharing what they're up to.
Just saying how great the Connect and Create Day was for him.
Oh, bless. And yes, it is a day that we love seeing the results of, don't we? So that's how it goes. So let's talk to you a little bit more about the portfolio business and what that actually is. Some of you may have heard the term. Some of you may actually be like, oh, I don't actually know what that is. But if you think about people talking about property portfolios, you'll begin to get a sense of that.
Yeah, we haven't gone off for Avatar.
Yeah, that's right. It's like a
property business.
We're so not doing that. But it's more about actually having, if you think about a property portfolio, is all the things that you own, you manage, and you monetize in terms of properties. We're transferring that over to the products that you actually have under one theme. You know, I talk about the green flag in the sand a lot. You know, the fact that you actually stand for one thing. You help in one area that allows you to be known for and seen as the expert in that area. But that doesn't stop you or prevent you from actually having a portfolio of products under that theme. And so one of the ways that helps you sort of stand out with all of the amounts of speakers, authors, and coaches, the entrepreneurial kind of set that is coming up, new businesses are literally coming up every single day. So you need to figure out ways of standing out, but also ways of building your business sustainably that allows you to be present and allows you to be selling whilst not present in that way. And that's partly what we want to encourage you to do. So, you know, if you think about it, so many people naively or innocently think about publishing a book and kind of starting their career in speaking, which is brilliant and amazing, but it does make it very crowded in this space. And so one of the ways that you can actually do this is to take your subject matter, the thing that you're an expert in, and repurpose that message and create a range of products across a range of platforms. Because the more you diversify within your sphere, the easier it is for people of different kinds to actually consume that content. And it kind of makes it fun and sustainable in your business, because when you're not relying on just one product or one source of income from one type of activity, a lot of the time you doing one-to-one work, that opens up your world and expands your possibilities around your time, your energy, and your attention. So that's what we really want to teach you and talk to you about. So if you haven't by now realized that you need pen and paper, run get it.
There's lots of links and things in this one, as always, right? And Brenda's saying it's a smart strategy, and it is a smart strategy.
Yeah.
Because Brenda will know that a lot of people that say that they, for example, I'm going to write a book this year, and then they think that the income from the book is going to basically overtake their day job or whatever it might be.
Yeah, it's like, woohoo!
So if you think about traditional publishing, traditional books are £9.99, traditional commission on a book is 10%.
Yeah.
So, you know, 10p for every book. You're going to sell a lot of books
Truckloads.
to basically overtake your income. And this is why we're saying, even if you're speaking or you're a coach, just having that one product actually puts all of your eggs in one basket.
And it's dangerous, peeps.
The ways that industries change, you know, so many people with the coronavirus, for example, have been affected. Like, you know, being in the speaker industry, I've seen some of the events that have gone down that people have cancelled because of this. And if that's your whole income is on one event, you're screwed for the next quarter or so, right? Yeah. So what we're saying is having a portfolio business is actually, is what Helena said, having this range of products, but also it's diversifying where your message goes.
Exactly.
So not just your paid products, but your marketing.
Yeah.
And we're not saying go and spray and pray and be on every platform. We're really not. Because otherwise we wouldn't be being authentic, because we show up on Facebook, we build our tribe on Facebook.
That's right.
And we have things in other places, but we don't focus on that.
No.
What we are talking about is having your same material in different formats. Now, any of you that are watching that are NLP trained will understand the neuro-linguistic programming of, you know, kinesthetic, of auditory or visual. We're talking about that type of thing, of having your products in different formats.
Yeah, of how people like to consume it. So, for example, weirdly, whilst I really enjoy delivering videos, I'm not a video watcher. I'm much more of a reader. So, you know, a video that actually has either captions, but preferably actually the transcript below, I'm a big fan of those things. So,
and I'm a video because I just have it on in the background and get on with other stuff.
Which I don't understand. It freaks me out. But anyway, but you get that actually how people like to consume material may well be an indicator of how you could produce material.
So we're coming at a portfolio business from an angle of saying, whatever field you're currently in, speaker, author, coach, we're saying you actually need to be all three.
Yes, you do.
Right? Blend all three. Now, don't start having a panic attack, because what being an author doesn't mean, don't spit your coffee out.
That was nearly your
not
little
on my
thing.
upholstery,
Yeah, that's
please.
right.
But being an author doesn't mean you have to have a published book.
No.
You need to actually have your IP, your message, your content in some form of written format.
For sure.
Like Helena just said, blogs, transcripts, articles, those types of things. So we're not saying you need to be a professional speaker.
Yeah.
But we are saying you need to have your format in an audio format. So that could be a podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're just giving you that area to actually think, what's my IP? And then what formats can I repurpose the same content
exactly,
so it reaches more people and gives people choice on how they want to consume it?
And for those of you who are like sort of balking at the whole podcast thing, it may actually be that you you simply do audio clips here and there. You know, sort of you can do it in such a simple way. And if you balk at actually kind of being on your own doing it, then go and be interviewed by a whole bunch of different people. You can literally build it however you want it. And that's what we're saying to you. But you do need it in different formats.
And when you get your confidence up, if your main go-to at the moment is you're a coach and you're developing your speaking, as you said, by doing audio, by doing podcasts, and you actually start writing lots of Amy, who watches us,
blogs,
she's written so many blogs that when we did the Facebook Live last week, I think it was about writing a book, she realised that she actually had a couple of books in her as well.
Yeah.
So obviously we are saying if you position yourself as a international speaker, I'm looking at Josepha here, a best-selling author, you know, an international coach or a coach with some awards or accreditation side of things, this is the perfect thing, because you're actually saying, look, I'm the best in all of my areas and I've got products and services to represent that.
Yep.
But that's a lifelong goal for you guys to watch this. You can make those small steps and just have your products repurposed in different formats until you're ready to get to that stage.
Don't wait. You know, we are saying, you know, a product a quarter or even 2 products a year. And by that, we mean possibly a repurposed product or something different or the same in a different style. You can start to build your portfolio widely, which allows you to reach those many more peoples. And of course, peoples, because what we really know is that most of you watching are change makers in some way, shape or form. You are people who want to change the world. But in order to change the world, you also need to change your world. And part of a portfolio business is absolutely building the income that sustains you. You know, we talk about building a business on your terms. And on your terms means you do things in the way that you enjoy them, but you also do things in the way that you satisfy the reach. So sometimes the painful idea of, I need to become a speaker, or I need to at least kind of do that. You know, the mission that you have, the purpose that you go for allows you to actually kind of focus on the service and gets you beyond the pain of doing that repurposed product in some way. Because what it also means is you build your income. And by building products on different learning styles, different delivery styles, you widen your opportunity to build a sustainable and profitable business through that range. And that's a really important thing. Because, go on.
Say hello to Sharon, because I haven't seen her for years.
Hey darling,
Sharon.
how are you?
So you've been doing awesome work in Ireland on your speaking career. All of your shots, well done you.
Congratulations. Feel free, so just because you just joined, feel free to pop the buzz in your business in.
Yeah,
you know,
tell us about
happening.
your speaking gigs.
Yeah, what's actually happening, because we do want to hear a little bit more. That would be amazing. Good to see you here, babe. So let's have a look at some of that, you know, sort of, because this is about amplifying your reach, you know, sort of book sales alone, as Kelly said, that's a romantic notion that you need to let go of. So what you can do in order to actually create the portfolio business is really, have you just got a...
Joseph is saying it does show your versatility and breadth, and for the future workforce requirements that help you get a new gigs, contracts and new jobs, this is a vital skill.
Yeah, particularly because you're showing up potentially in slightly different or in front of slightly different audiences, in slightly different arenas, and that actually, as you say, gets you more gigs or gets you known by a slightly different bunch of people, and that's a really important thing. So what does that actually look like in terms of the portfolio business? So you might want to do this as a tick list, list or as a wish list. So you can do kind of either one. So, creating a published book.
So if you've got a published book,
then
we're saying you can't just have an income from that.
Forget
let's
that.
look at you guys that have got that, and let's just give you that as an example of what else you can do with that IP in that book.
Exactly. So out of that, it's almost the obvious next step, which is you can create the audiobook, and the audiobook in your authentic accent and voice. Some people are really sort of scared about it. In fact, actually, there are a couple of really great conversations inside the Connection Hub have happened around, do I do it for myself or do I get somebody else in to do it? So go and have a little search for those. But so out of those, so you have your published book, you can turn it into an audiobook. You can create an online course on the content of the book, particularly if it's around a methodology of some kind or some step-by-step process that actually helps people. That turns it into an online course that makes it interactive and allows people to implement what you're saying. Because how many times do we read a book and go, oh, great idea, must do that, and then the world takes over. It
becomes shelf-help.
Exactly. And so an online course actually gives people more of a chance to kind of work through it and,
ask questions.
Exactly. Depending on whether you do it live or just as a live, just as an online course that is not got a live component. So there are elements that you can even add in as they go. You could also, if you have a preference for this might be, and we're really suggesting that, stay within your comfort zones, see how that works, and then expand it a little bit more. So if you love to run workshops or retreats, you could actually base something like that on the back of the content of the book. So making it really come alive with the author themselves is definitely going to allow people to do a much deeper dive on it,
like
right?
a get it done weekend,
yeah,
right?
completely.
So actually, all the ideas, turn them into action.
Exactly.
Right?
So we love a little bit of that. You could also design a group coaching program around it. Maybe it's something that needs to be implemented over a period of time. So the actual content might lend itself more easily to being a 6-month program, a 12-month program that again covers those key points, but allows you to widen or deepen the knowledge that people actually have, and be aware of that. Widening or deepening can actually be something that helps you do the portfolio bit.
And we were, one of our monthly spotlights in our Changemaker group was about group coaching, and one of the things we spoke about was actually Helena's on a program. I don't know if you still are.
No,
was on.
So
it came with a book. But the group coaching program was actually read the chapter as you go through and then have group coaching on it as you go along.
Yeah.
So again, if you've got a book, this one links lovely with that if it is a theoretical teach book.
And particularly if you have a delicious voice, then you might even do the read along. I've definitely seen things where you could do it in that way, which also works. What have you got
saying,
there?
Books are almost like business cards these days. You can create something even quite short as an ebook, as long as it's useful, which is a really important point, as long as it's useful and what they're looking for.
Yeah.
And print on demand lets you make hard copies available without a big upfront cost. Yeah, so things like Amazon or Lightning Source, those are types of great places to do your print on demand.
And so I'm just going to say one little thing about useful.
Useful, not helpful.
Well, useful, not helpful, but actually, I'm going to bring in 4 intentions for sure. Of course I am. But useful is interesting because useful, we know it's useful, but is it perceived as valuable? So it needs to be useful, but first and foremost, it needs to be perceived as valuable by the avatar, and then it becomes seen as useful by them, if that makes sense. So even though we know it's useful, it absolutely needs to be part of your messaging, which is why I'm talking about this, because as part of your portfolio, it's really important that we, again, always hit the pain points or at least the value giving that the avatar actually wants, particularly because if we're going for a slightly new avatar, we may need to just think about it slightly, right? So I'm just highlighting that. So thank you, Tim. I absolutely agree with you. And let's make sure we're looking at it from both perspectives. So But another thing, so we've talked about turning your book into an audiobook, an online course, either live online delivered or a DIY at home, kind of in people's bedrooms in some way, or living rooms.
Living rooms.
You never know where people do their learning, who knows? Creating a retreat or a workshop or a one-day thing of some kind, doing a group coaching program. You can also turn it into a membership program that really helps them implement. So it might be that hand-holding piece that actually goes along with, I love this, but I know I want to stay accountable somewhere in that. So it might actually be that you build a membership element around that particular thing. Or you might actually want to kind of, do the app in the pocket type of thing so that they carry your information around with them literally on their phone, and they're looking at it potentially every single day or moments throughout the day, right? So and those could be resources, they could be chunked down versions of, they could be mini snippets, they could be the quote that comes from the book that people actually are doing. You can do all sorts of things to break it down.
Yeah. And these are just a snapshot, right?
Man alive. Get creative, right? You are creative humans.
Well, what we're trying to illustrate for you is that once you create a range of products like Helena's gone through, not only do you give your avatar choice, but you also allow you to not create a business where you're constantly swapping time for money.
Yeah.
So some of those things do take time, an online coaching program, a retreat, but once you've built an app, once you've built an online course, once you've built an audiobook, all those types of things.
And this is the key.
You need to market them.
Yes.
But you don't need to physically be swapping time for money delivering them. Yeah. So this is all going back to our on your terms principle. Yeah. What does that mean about the lifestyle business that you're creating?
Yeah.
So not only is it expanding your reach, because you're repurposing the content in different forms that can be marketed into different platforms. Yeah. You're also giving the customer choice on how they consume that. Yeah. And you're giving you choice on how you work.
And the thing about this is that, and again, I'm on my soapbox again, the whole argument behind passive versus residual income, really what we're talking about is repurposing that content so that you create streams of residual income. And the reason I say residual is that you are going to do some upfront work around the marketing piece, as Kelly just actually said, but it isn't just a leave it and see, because the world is changing so fast. It still needs a tweak here and there, that tap of the hammer or whatever it is that you need. But it does mean that you only need to pay a minuscule amount of time to all the products that you've got. And here's the thing. You will be found by so many more people because you have a range of things out there. So different people find you in different ways.
Just like Joseph was saying.
That's what we're talking about. So that as soon as they find you through one route, they start to look at everything else that you've got. And now your reach widens.
And for those of you that are change makers that are in our membership program that are watching, this is what we talk about in the VIP, the red carpet to the VIP after party process, which we spoke about in the Connection Hub in our training about how to create a product range or how your customer experiences you, I think is what it's called. And that is basically saying that, yes, all that work that you do here at the beginning, which we call is the red carpet, which is all those things like we were saying to Tim about the fact that the people need to know and be aware of those pain points that you meet them at. You have something which is a low cost, a low tier, very short and inhalable content or product for them to get a short result with, but then you educate them on what they didn't know that they didn't know, and then you create a range of products that actually holds them through the journey. Now, what you then do is have pretty much an automated marketing process that moves them down that journey, but your physical work is mostly at this front end, which is why we call it the red carpet, because you want the paparazzi on you, you want everyone sharing it, you want everyone talking about it.
And weirdly, it's actually where you spend the bulk of your time. Like, so weirdly, you kind of think that you should be spending most of your time over at the other end of your product range, but actually, the paparazzi, you want to be showing up all the time, and you want to be having those snaps in effect.
But then it gives them the choice, because if you're doing all this stuff at the red carpet, but all you've got is a 90-day coaching program, and that person isn't either ready, it's already started, and it's too late, they can't afford it.
It's too intense, whatever.
You can create all different products to help them at the stage that they're at and the budget that they're at that time.
But still, with your green flag in the sand, doing one theme, not spray and pray, right? So still, in your expertise, what you're known for, seen as. And that's the vital key here, because you can then blend your speaker, author, coach, business into the portfolio business that allows you to stand firm for what you believe in and what you want to share.
And this makes you that present person in their life throughout their whole journey of where they want to help that problem that they've got. Rather than you just being an in and out job, you're there consistent and breaking it down so it's manageable steps for them.
Yeah, completely agree.
Do you want to read Joseph?
So Joseph has just actually said, I've just done a podcast with a famous HR leader from the US, and after uploading the podcast into iTunes, I've now adapted it a little and will now feature in the JFI Academy. That's a perfect repurposing, right?
Lots of people do that. They have a podcast where they have like the 20 minutes which is free for the public, and then they keep that person on the call or the video for another 20 minutes, and it's exclusive content for their membership group where they actually go into offers or deep dive strategy, not just the awareness building content.
So you get awareness building for the people out in the world who may not actually want the detail, and then the detail behind the scenes, the sort of the how, the picking the brains of the person. That's one of the things that you can easily negotiate when you ask to interview someone. I was just going to say that. Because you want to be actually making sure that you're serving those people slightly differently, right? So
I'm going to put some of these links in because we've just thought about, okay, so if you are having your material at the moment in one format,
I've just remembered one that's not on there. Keep going.
I'll find it in a minute. That how can you repurpose it with ease? And we're going to give you some of our top software apps that we use and that we want you to experience. So I will talk and do
at the same time. So whilst Kelly does that, I'll actually say the one that I forgot about is a doodly video. Sort of like to actually pop that in there as well, which means she's now going to go off and find the link to that.
I'm doing it now.
Because that's how it works.
Explain what a doodly video is to people
I will.
While I'm doing that.
So I'm sure that you've all actually seen those scribble videos where the animation. Pen, kind of comes in. Sorry, would you like to explain
No, but it's a whiteboard animation. That's what it's called. Okay, I've got the link.
So what we're saying is that you can take anything that you say, speak, do, write, and turn it into anything you say, do, speak, and write as a slightly different thing. And that means that you can then take that content and put it in different places. So it is seen by different people in different formats. And I'm going to say this because we haven't actively said this, in different lengths or different chunk sizes. Because sometimes it's actually that the very busy person can only do 20-minute chunks, whereas some other people like to do the intense, I'm just going to do all 4 hours in one day and that's me done. So what we can do is we can even repurpose the one product, but in 2 different formats so that it's palatable for people in the way that it does it. Now, here's the thing, on your terms, right? You just do what you want to do. And we're not saying go create a million things because that's not the point here. But you do need to step into the shoes of your avatar and actually go, what do they most need? How do they most like it? What can I do with my material that actually serves that purpose?
And one of the things that a lot of people say is that I don't watch videos, so I'm not going to do videos.
Oh my God, I'm totally like... I do videos, right? I totally do videos all the time. I do like a shiny shove every single day, which is now a 5-minute or a 3 to 5 minute one. Used to be a 2-minute, and then Facebook keeps on flashing at me. They keep saying to me, if you do 3 minutes, you have more chance of being watched. I'm like, oh my goodness me, right? Okay,
it's not like you can't talk, darling.
No, kettle pot black. But so the whole point is that you stick within the formats of what's actually desired and wanted. But I'm a typical person that I tend not to watch videos. Yeah. And yet I consume a whole bunch of information. So that's what we mean by this. You can create your portfolio business. Now, here's the thing. We've obviously given you a little bit of help because we like doing that.
I haven't given them any links yet.
That's all right.
Where
do you want to give them links?
I've got like 20 links to give them.
Did you give them some links?
Okay, so let's go back to the doodly, which was the whiteboard animation. So that's something that you can create a bit of content in a like an infographic, which is quite funky.
Yeah, it's really cool.
If you want to take them behind the scenes or solve a problem or tell a story.
It tells a story. That's the key thing, right?
So it's a good way of actually illustrating it in people that like videos, but you might be scared of not putting your face on the video and you actually want an animation of it instead.
Or for people who sort of for those of you who actually do sensitive subjects, it can be a really good way of kind of doing a third person view of delivering what it is that you need to deliver. And that's quite useful.
So another one of our go-to ones is Canva. We wouldn't be able to live, I don't think, without Canva.
No.
But one of the things that people think Canva's just for memes, and actually we use Canva a lot of the time to create PDFs, guides,
workbooks,
fact sheets, checklists, all those types
postcards,
of lead magnet type of things.
Yeah.
So it's not just an image creator or a meme creator.
Yeah.
You can turn your information into actually workable, fillable, downloadable workbooks or guides, right?
They even do a really good little kind of, they've been beta testing a little video format for a while now, and it's really good.
Yeah. So another one that we use, and we like this one for people that like writing but don't like the video work.
Yeah, that's
right.
So
Lumen 5 is what we use for that one. So if you're great at content creation from a blog perspective or something like that, you can actually create blogs into videos.
Yeah, that's right.
Just by using image.
You literally drag and drop your blog into Lumen 5, and then you just highlight little bits, add an image to it, and presto, like literally 15 minutes later, you've got a beautiful little video that is an explainer video or something along those lines. It's great.
The next one is Otter. So
your blog come to life. That's pretty much kind of my strapline for Lumen 5. Keep going.
Otter is a transcription service. So if you're great at talking and not great at writing, especially for those of you who are dyslexic and have that as a big block, then talk your stuff through. And it's a great transcription service, which then you can then use that in articles or blogs or Lumen 5 or whatever it might be. We also love it because you can create SRT files in Otter. Now, Otter's free, right? Most of these resources we're putting down are all free. But you can then have the SRT file creates the captions on your Facebook Live, your YouTube videos, so that increases your viewership.
It's really good.
Massively.
It's really
so
good.
Again, if you want a service that not only transcribes, because your natural format is audio, then you can actually have something written at the end of it by using Otter.
Yes.
We have in here, I'm doing this as I
One
go.
of our favourites. So when we interview people, Zoom.
Yeah. So Zoom is our platform for many things, and we suggest it if you want to do coaching sessions, then it's great for one-to-one, especially if you're running internationally. They've also released recently breakout rooms, which are great when you're doing group sessions and group coaching, because you can put people in different rooms and then bring them all back together.
Keep going, keep going. Just don't go on. I need to say the last little thing before you do that.
We also run it for our webinars.
Yeah.
And we also run it for live streaming Facebooks when we've got a guest.
Yeah.
So they're the 4 main things we use Zoom for.
Here's the other one. The aforementioned Otter can be linked to Zoom, which means you'll actually get the transcript of said things, which means that people like me who actually like to read the transcript, you actually get the transcript of the Zoom interview that you just did. Yeah. Bingo!
And that's great. If you've got a podcast and you want to turn the podcast into a blog with the expert.
That's it.
So our next one is
Amazing.
for those of you that are interested in podcasting.
Yes.
You've got Anchor. So Anchor's one of the most easiest platforms to not only record your podcast, but then it will distribute through all the main channels. So again, another really easy
way to get started.
For your podcasting.
I now know that some of the podcasters in here will go, but there are so many other alternatives.
Yeah, go back and watch our podcast.
That's right.
live.
That's exactly it. And so by all means do that. But what we're doing here is just getting you started so that you can really work with that.
So our next one is actually about helping you write your book, right? And we did a live on this last week.
Yeah.
But this is Scrivener. So this is a great app if you're thinking of actually, I want to start writing a book. Where do I actually start collating all of my ideas? How do I put them into a format?
But also, how do I stay non-distraction free? Because Scrivener basically is the blank page that allows you to actively capture what you're writing without any of the distractions, and then allows you to move it around in a kind of draft editing mode. And it is brilliant for you just writing. Yeah. So if you are struggling to get writing, use Scrivener.
Our next one, which we have done a live on with Julie, is Hey Mic. So this is a small little black mic that you can use, especially good if you're already a speaker and you want to actually capture really good quality audio and the video from like your iPhone. If you're delivering a keynote and you want some footage for a show reel, or you actually want the transcript of your talk to become a an audio or some sort of download, then you can actually capture that together. And if you want to learn more about that little bit of kit, then go back and watch our Facebook Live called How to create good audio and video content, I think it's called.
It was something along those lines.
Something around audio and video.
If you search for audio and video in that long list of trainings, then that works.
So another one that we use for those of you who wanting to actually create more blogs, more articles, and you want to do some research on what are the best keywords out there, what are people wanting, what are they looking for.
That's right.
BuzzSumo's our go-to place to actually go, what's trending at the moment? What is the highest looked after content around nutrition? What are people looking for?
That's it. So what we're saying here is if you know that your green flag in the sand is nutrition and people's health in that way, what you can do on BuzzSumo is you can set up your alerts, or you can go and look for what's actually trending, and you hear the conversations that are currently going on that of course you can jump on the bandwagon of, which means you've got content for blogs and you've got video content and so on and so forth that allows you to stay current and present, and allows you to even kind of do some of the research that you might want to delve deeper on. And
then our final one is OBS Project. So a lot of people have got content across many marketing platforms, LinkedIn, Twitter, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So OBS Project allows you to live stream videos synchronously across all those platforms. So rather than what we do is then share it out into the group, and I do that manually, if we had lots of platforms like LinkedIn and YouTube and everything else, and we wanted to go live, this is another free service that you can actually go live via OBS Project and then just broadcast
all of it
from
at
one
the click
place
of a button
at the same time.
Yeah.
So again, another thing just is that this is helping you repurpose your message, making it simple for you, making it in different formats, increasing your reach and increasing the products that you could earn income from.
And the thing about this is that if some of you are now sounding overwhelmed, sort of the whole thing here is that we are always opening your world to what's possible. Your job is to choose. So if, for example, you love the idea of broadcasting at one push of a button, sort of to everything else, but you go, the technicals, there are so many people. Nick Wood is in our group, and he produces live streaming for people. That's exactly what he does. So, you can absolutely get some of these people in. What we're doing here is actually showing you the elements that you can do to begin to create that portfolio business, which then is a sustainable, profitable way for you to be a speaker, author, or coach. And of course,
it's a combination of all three.
We need to come up with a word that's actually like some blend of
Sack.
Yeah, we call them sacks here. We call you sacks here, but that's actually quite interesting, because in Danish, sacks is actually, they're scissors. They cut through everything. So how intriguing is that? Anyway, so on that note, so what we really want you to do is we want you to take action, and we want you to really start thinking about how you can do this. So in our Power Up Your Purpose course, one of the resources that we do around monetizing your purpose is give you a list of 33 different ways that you can indeed start to build that portfolio business, the things that you can actively do. And I'm assuming Kelly by now, because she's done that, has actually kind of put the link in there. So please
that's not the link to our course. We've just taken one of the exercises out and given it to you for free.
Exactly. And so what we're asking of you is to really step back and look at what in my content can I repurpose into something that is paid content and or marketing material that allows you to go out in the world in the wider scheme of things around your green flag in the sand.
Just take one thing that you've already got created.
I mean,
whether
how
that's
amazing.
A book, whether it's a coaching program, whether it's a keynote, and just go through this list of 33 ways and just think, what else could I repurpose that in to either increase my marketing reach or increase my income by creating another product?
And it's really interesting because, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Some people say, write that book and then you'll have all of these things. For me, because my natural strength and skills, interestingly enough, as I'm writing the Shine book at the moment, my skill set is in designing workshops and, retreat material, training material in that way. And it took me a moment before I realized that actually I take the retreat material from the Shine retreat and I turn that into the book. That's a much easier process for me. So we are saying work within your strengths and turn one thing into another from your strength piece into something that you go, oh, this is a bit new for me, right? So we would love to know what are you going to work on, or what are you going to go and take a look at that helps you build that portfolio business. And of course, if you need help with any of that, ping us in here or go and look at the recordings, because there's likely some format of help in there somewhere.
But over 100 recordings in there now, of all different topics. So.
And please just ping us and go, which one do I watch if I want to know about this? Because we'll be able to shortcut that for you. So on that note, have a brilliant rest of your week. Be productive and amazing, and keep sharing.
Also worth flagging, there are easy to use online sales platforms. So if you write up lessons as decently produced PDFs, you can stick it up.
Good point.
As a cheap or less cheap product, definitely.
Yeah, well, so, nice one, Tim.
Yeah, so the things like if you've got a course or a short thing, you shove it on Udemy, you might have things on Groupon, all those types of things.
Yeah.
It's actually going to be another one of our lives, Tim.
Share your expertise is basically what we're saying. Go build your portfolio business. Many blessings. Have a great and wonderful day, and we'll catch you next week.
Next week.
Bye.